Hey guys, welcome back to SEADOGS Can Fly. Massive episode for you today, loads to get through. We've got a season 3 review, so we're going to be looking at the best performers, top goal scorers, hot prospects, and also at how the class of 2020 are progressing, because we've not looked at that for a little while. Then we've got the live com match, which is the FA Trophy final against our huge rivals, York City. That's our third consecutive final now, before we go and look at who we may be signing for League 2 next season, and a redesign of the badge and the kits. If you've not done so already, please do subscribe and click the bell button, that way you won't miss out of new episodes as and when they go live. And if you enjoy the episode, give us a thumbs up at the end of the video. Cue the intro.
12 years in that division and they're out.
Right boys, we start on this screen for a reason. Lots has changed over the last couple of months. First of all, the club's logo. That's now circular with a very angry looking seagull on the front. Very different to the shield that you see on the actual kits themselves. We've also had new kits designed in the Kappa style with the camouflage on the away kit and pretty standard on the home. Let me know what you think to those. These were designed by Red. His Twitter handle is @SergeantRedPhoenix. I'll leave that in the description for you. The other thing you may have noticed, we've now gone professional. That is official. And we're worth £9 million in preparation for the National League. That's it. We finished top on 124 points, 40 wins, 4 draws, 150 goals. We dominated the league. Ryan Williams was instrumental with 29 goals. Fonseca, despite being rested for quite a bit of the second half of the season, still got 23 goals. He was on fire at the beginning. As we all know, Bowden overtook him in the end. We'll look at him in just a second. Jonathan Warburton tops the assist and the average rating charts yet again. And Ryan Williams again with a 7.56 average rating. Samba got 22 assists. He missed out on the last 10 or so games because I preferred Saltella trying to develop the left winger. But Warburton again, 18 assists, and that's despite not playing every single game because McCall was preferred at the start of the season. And if we have a quick look at the season preview, we've dominated the media 11. There's only 3 players outside of our squad. Let's move on to my awards for the season. So let's go straight to the biggie. Best player of the year. Gotta go to Ryan Williams. This guy has been amazing. 33 goals from 39 games and 9 assists. He's such a monster in the air, but he's also got that pace in behind. We've seen some fantastic goals from this kid. And if you look at his attributes wheel, very nicely rounded. A quick look at his development on the progress chart. You'll see precisely what I mean. Over the last 12 months, look at those increases. His determination's gone down, but that's a squad overall determination thing. His pace has gone up too, balance has gone up too, as has his strength. So his physicals have really done well, but those mentals have come along very nicely indeed. As for best young player of the year, in fairness, we've got loads of young players, but I'm going to have to hand this one to Gary Bowden. I think he's been amazing since coming through from being on trial. 17 years old still, so there's loads of promise left in him. And he scored 13 goals in his 20 starts and looked very, very dangerous alongside Williams as that little and large partnership. Loads of development left in him. 15 for finishing, 15 for technique, great flair. His speed is only getting better with those physicals over time. Decisions are already 14 as well. That's huge. And the fact that he's got 15 for technique tells me that he can develop his technical attributes a lot further. As for his development over the last 12 months, absolutely exceptional. He's gone up 3 for his off-the-ball movement. I mean, that is absolutely amazing, really, when you consider he started at 8 and he's now at 12. So actually he's gone up 4, the one attribute behind there. Really impressive stuff. And I think most improved has got to go to Wilco Loshi for me. There's lots of players who could take this award, but he scored 6 goals and got 2 assists from right back, despite not even being comfortable in the position. If you have a quick look at his development, you will see precisely why I've picked him out. This is his all-time development. He's gone up in every single facet of his game, and in majority of them, he's gone up 2. And I think this kid has loads more improvement left in him. You'll also notice I've got the part-time and full-time contracts listed here. That's because we've now gone professional, so I need to know which of my key players are still on a part-time contract. I've managed to get most of them switched over, and to be honest, with relative ease as well. I mean, the likes of Bowden, he was only on 50 quid a week, and I was dreading having to get him nailed down to a new deal. He's only on 190 quid, even on a full-time contract, and that is with the clause of extension after promotion. That's another 3 years added on to 2024 if we get promoted next season. So it's an absolute no-brainer to me. Even if he's not good enough for the Championship, for argument's sake, we'll still be able to sell him on at a big profit. So I highly recommend getting that switch done as quick as you can, because as soon as you start moving up the leagues, they're going to start asking for a lot more money. Right, let's have a really quick look at the schedule and see how we actually finished the season off. So we left off with the Aldershot game where we won 5-2. After that, we went on to beat Kidderminster 3-1. Gary Bowden, after his hat-trick against Aldershot, got on the score sheet with another 2 goals. We then came up against Haventon Waterlooville, and after a Loshy penalty, Williams came up with 2 lovely, lovely goals. This first one was so well worked from Ryan in the box-to-box midfielder role, but the second one was all about Ryan Williams and his finishing prowess. Just the way he picks up the ball and holds off the defender there before smashing it home. That was a really good 4-0 performance, taking us nicely into the Hartlepool game, FA Trophy, semi-final first leg, where we actually won 6-1. We dominated this match. Gary Bowden again scoring 2 goals, Ryan Williams with a goal, Olzev, Rakas and Saltella. The last 3 goals that we scored in this match were just sublime. The play on display was mint, and we want to see much, much more of that. We then beat Bromley 5-1. And then Hartlepool again away from home this time. We'd already secured the title against Chesterfield, so a little bit of complacency crept in. Ended up drawing 3-3 there. The last 4 games of the season were just played out with ease. Didn't even concede a goal there. Worth noting, Saltella's come into his own. He started scoring, assisting a bit more. Ryan Williams scored in his last 3 games. In fact, I think he scored 5 in his last 3 even. And again, Gary Bowden had been playing really well and all. The York City game kept getting moved back, rather irritatingly. So I've had to arrange 3 friendlies just to keep the team fresh and fit. I'm not quite sure what the hold-up was with this game, but it got postponed about 3 times. I think it's probably because of the playoffs. Yeah. National League North, York got through to the final and lost to Spennymoor, so they're going to be 2 divisions below us going into next season. Before we jump into this game, guys, let me quickly catch you up on the class of 2020 and how they're doing. So Wilco Loshy was on trial at the time. He has come along really nicely. We've already looked at this kid, so we won't go over him again. But Lee Hurst was our big prospect alongside Blackman, who ended up losing to Crystal Palace. He's developed very nicely indeed. Quite impressed with his attribute increases. I honestly thought he would have done better than he actually has done. But you can see this year he's gone up another level. His marking's increased, which I was a bit worried about, as has his heading and his jumping reach. So with a little bit of luck, he's going to be a late bloomer for us, and he's got loads of potential still in the bag. Yaffa likewise, I was a bit worried about his jumping reach, but that's gone up a couple of points. And his mentals have come along very nicely indeed. He's fantastic in the tackle, a hard worker, good, really, really good type of player, as in his personality, and he's quite technical for a centre-back as well. Jonathan Warburton, you know my qualms with him. Determination has hardly gone up at all, in all honesty, and that rings true when you have a look at his development. He's barely improved again this year, so unfortunately there's going to come a day where he can't play anymore. The guy that has been preferred instead of him a little bit this season is Daryl McCall. He has improved much more than Warburton has because he's got the personality to do so. If you have a quick look at his development over the last 12 months, you'll see that he's gone up in most areas. His determination's just levelled out with the squads. So hopefully he can keep growing and take the place of Warburton over time. Stefan Lacour, another one from the class of 2020. He's not improved an awful lot this year. His progress bar is a little bit depressing, to be honest. A couple of attribute increases, but I think he's almost maxing out his potential. So we're going to have to find another replacement for him long term on the right wing, which we're going to cover in just a second. Rob Gale is probably my biggest prospect now from that class, other than possibly Hurst, I think. His progress this year has been mint, as you can see. Gone up in almost every facet of his game, and if you have a look at his all-time development, he's made huge strides in his physicals and across his mentals as well. So quite exciting to have someone like that on board. Ryan Williams we've looked at, so we won't go over again. Likewise, Gary Bowden. Matthew Wardle came in at the back end of 2020. He's done reasonably well. Needs to develop a little bit more, but if we can just get that heading attribute along with his tackling and marking up, I think he could be a solid centre-back for us for quite a few years to come. Sal Teller was on trial at the time. He's developed really nicely, 17 years old, so I'm quite excited about him, especially when you consider his vision is 15. That's a great attribute to have on the left wing with the sort of tactic we play where they need to pick out passes. Jose Ramon's going to be leaving the club, I'm afraid. He was one of our star deep line playmakers, but time moves on and he'll have to, I'm afraid. But Steve Mitchell surprised me this year. I sent him on loan to Curzon Ashton because I thought we'd seen the end of his development, and he's come on an awful lot. I can't show his progress from the development bar, but those physicals and mentals have increased loads. It's just that technical ability. In case you don't know, if someone's got low technique, that brings their overall bar down for how much they can develop in the technical attributes. Right, boys, we're going to have a look after the game at who I'm thinking of signing for next season to try and fill a few voids and why. But let's get on with this York City match first of all. We're going to go with Bowden and Williams up front, little and large. They've been great together and lovely little combination. I'm having to play Samba on the left despite wanting to play Saltella. That's because Saltella is away on international duty. I think he's playing in the youth team. Yes, he is. We're also missing Jarman, but that doesn't matter. He usually wouldn't play. I think I'm going to bring Wardle in instead of Yaffa, just to have that aerial presence. And we're going to stick with Warburton on the left back position. And I want to play Loshi again at right back. He's not getting any more familiar with that role. He's still awkward at right back. But over time, he should get there. Okay, we're at Wembley, guys. Looks rather empty, doesn't it? York are going with that 4-2-3-1, so not that -5 and 2 DMCs that we had last time we came up against them. The lads are definitely expected to win this one, so let's tell them I expect them to come back with the trophy. Maybe a bit of a risky approach, and I think I'm also going to give them all a little bit of a pat on the back and tell them I've got faith in them, just to pick up that morale a little bit. Let's kick off the game and see what we got. We should absolutely thrash York on any other day, especially when they're playing this formation. And there's the start we wanted. Stefan Lacour with his 18th goal of the season. Came from the long throw from Warburton, Bowden with the knock-on. That's a nice start to the game. Another throw, this time on the right. Loshi puts it into play. Williams to Bell to Samba. Bowden, and what a finish that is. This is a great start inside of 4 minutes. Gary Bowden with the goal from a Samba assist. That was really nicely worked. Quickly watch that replay. It's nice to see Williams getting out wide as well. But Bell, again, that deep line playmaker role. We spoke about it before. He almost acts as like a half-back, pinging the ball out wide to the wingers, which really gets us on the front foot with the counter-attacks. Loshi, the right back, works the ball forward to Lacour. He's probably going to cut inside. No, he passes with his right foot, and Bowden makes it 3. Inside of 7 minutes, 3-0. This could be any scoreline. Another really nicely worked goal. I thought Lacour was going to cut back onto his favoured left foot there, but didn't need to. First highlight of the game for York City. They swung the ball in, but Wardle with his 18 jumping reach plucks it out the air, and Williams is charging forward with that pace. What's he going to do? Can he pick out Bowden? Oh, what a pass! And Bowden gets his hat-trick in the first half. York are all over the place. With no DMCs or any real defensive cover, they are struggling out there. Great play from Williams to cut back inside and get the ball across to Bowden, but terrible marking from York City. That partnership we're seeing up front now with Williams and Bowden has been fantastic as the season's gone along. They've only got stronger, and Bowden almost gets his 4th there. Good pressing play to get the ball out. I'm not sure whether his flair possibly gives him the edge as well, the fact that he can do the unpredictable along with his acceleration that's now 14. If we can just get Spratt has scored, youth product of York City there from the free kick. But if we can just get his pace up as well from, I think it's 9 or 10, Gary Bowden's pace. If we can get that up, maybe into like 12 or 13, he is going to be a real threat. And it won't be long before we've got suitors looking at him from the Premier League or even the Championship, I would say. Another corner, Warburton. Hurst picks up the loose ball, back out to the left back. Swings one in. Samba volleys the ball home from a Matthew Wardle flick on. That's 5-1. This game is done and dusted. I think we're going to make a few changes in a minute. Maybe give some fresh legs a chance. Let's have, all depends who we've got on the bench actually. Fonseca, I think we'll have on for Williams. We'll give Alzare a go instead of Bell, who's been brilliant in that kind of half-back role. And I reckon we should also give Danny Ryan a go instead of Gale, in fairness. That should do it. There's no Vrakas and no Saltella to bring on because they're both away on international duty. They would have come out on the wings instead of Samba and Lacour. And with only 15 minutes left, York hit the bar with their free kick. This clock should just tick down now. I can't see a lot more happening. We'll probably be getting a little bit complacent. York City will just be hoping for the final whistle. And Jesus Christ, after that howler, the goalkeeper must want the earth just to open up and swallow him all. Fonseca off the bench to score his 26th for the season. And like I say, in just a minute, we're going to have a look at the players that I want to bring in next season. That's our third FA Trophy win though, and we won't be playing in the competition next year. So to win it, all 3 seasons that we've been in it has been mint, and I'm really happy that Bowden got his hat-trick. I think it's just a cap to the season that he's had. It took him a little while to get going, but he ended up with 16 goals from 21. You can't really ask for a better debut full season. Right guys, the players that I wanted to bring in, here's the shortlist. So we've got Connor Stanley, Manchester United, plays on the right wing. I'm kind of thinking he may be a better option than Lacour long term. And while Lacour's been fantastic, if you compare them and their attribute wheels, you'll see what I mean. Lacour's only better in the air. Every other facet of the game, Connor Stanley would take all day long. It's all going to come down to what sort of wages he wants though. But I'm loving that determination. If you have a look at his personality, it's driven, which is one of the better personalities, I would say. Swiderski, I'm not so impressed with his personality. However, he is an exciting player and we could use him on the left wing. I'd need to retrain him a bit better to be ML, but I think he may be worth considering. Again, if you have a look at his comparison to Samba, it'll be on that wing. His attribute wheel tells a story. Samba's much better mentally, but really, Swiderski's better in every other part of his game, and I think we may end up losing Samba, in all honesty. I don't think I should keep him around for too many more seasons. Chris Shinnie's another one I want to bring in. We are lacking a little bit up front in numbers. I'm going to need one more striker, and while he's not the best all-round player, I'm just loving the fact that he's so quick and such a good finisher. I think he may be a decent option to have off the bench. So I'm going to look at him and see how much money he's asking for. And then last but not least, David Salmon. I just love this guy's personality. It's only fairly ambitious, but it's more the fact that he's got good work rate, good teamwork, and he's got good vision as well. And those physicals are really good, which I'm quite like in a player. He can dribble with the ball, and if we can just get that passing up, I think he'd do really well in central midfield and also as a makeshift centre forward if we need him. So he might well be a very good cheap option for us, because what you've got to remember as well is we've got Alzare here and he's not happy about his game time, which I don't think I can change because I want to develop the other young players in the squad. So I may end up losing Alzare, if not next season, the season after. So that about caps it off, guys. I think we're going to leave it there. Next season, we're in League 2, so back in the Football League, or should I say Scarborough Athletic are in the Football League for the first time. It was the old Scarborough that were in it initially. Can't wait for that. Should be back next Sunday with another episode. As always, 9 AM. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel and click the bell button. That way you won't miss out on new episodes. And if you enjoyed this episode, give us a thumbs up. It'd be much appreciated. There's links in the description for the skin, the new gen faces, the face packs, all the stuff that you may want to download. And that's about it. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.